it gets pretty bad. This is what he did. And in game 6, bro, prepare for this one if you don't remember. Game 6, Paul George had 5 points in 45 minutes. 5 points. Look at what Russell Westbrook did in the most Russell Westbrook way. Like, inefficient as hell, but he gave his all. And look at what Paul George did. And on a side note, look at what Carmelo did. Like, bro, Russell was giving his all. His help just wasn't there. Then last year, I don't even really have a problem with how he played in the playoffs. Like, honestly, he didn't play bad. My only issue was the fact that you got sauced up for the last play and the series, and you had the audacity to call it a bad shot. Like, bro, just take your L and shut the hell up. Then this year, and this is where I rant. Let me get close to the mic. Paul George, bro, listen to me, bro. Do you know that in this league, you are viewed as an all-star? Do you know that Kawhi Leonard left a championship team, a team he just won a championship with? By the way, the Raptors are looking damn good without Kawhi, so he may have made a mistake, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm sorry for saying Brooklyn was gonna win 2 games. He left that team and reportedly asked you to join the Clippers. Do you know that Steve Ballmer gave up 500 draft picks to specifically bring you to the Clippers, and you are looking like the worst investment of all time from Kawhi's standpoint and Steve Ballmer? Bro, if somebody gives you the ball one more time expecting the quote-unquote second star to make a play, find a shot, and you dish it off hesitant as hell, or you drive not even looking for your shot, bro, I'm gonna lose my mind. In the third quarter, you weren't even looking for your shot anymore, bro. Like, you look scared. Everybody wants to see the Clippers and the Lakers. We've been hearing about it all year. You specifically are messing the entire season up. Bro, you have to wake up, bro. Like, you have to wake up. If you guys like this video, man, make sure you guys like the video. Paul George, you disgusting me right now, Jizzy. Like, hopefully I can give you the Kyle Lowry effect that I had last year, bro, but you got to wake up, man. Like I said, man, follow my Twitter, follow my IG. Do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.
Paul said we were going to get introduced to playoff P. What'd you think about that tonight?
Yeah, that was definitely him tonight. You know, I played against him before. You know, he was in Indiana in the playoffs, so, you know, that is playoff P. So if we're going to get that every night, you know, I like our chances.
Guy who was primarily on Donovan for most of those.
It's playoff P, so against him before. You know.
What'd you think about that tonight?
Stay tuned.
Paul said we were going to get introduced to playoff P. What'd you think?
Smith looks up to the heavens, says thank you. A closeout opportunity on Wednesday night. We'll have it for you here on TNT. One last heave. Simons can't get it to go, and it's the Lakers by 20. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the Los Angeles Lakers now up 3-1.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have any opinions that you would be hesitant to express around your peers? If the answer to that question is no, then that is a serious problem. If all of your thoughts, if all of your beliefs, if all of the things that you believe are true are the same as everybody else around you, that's too much of a coincidence to be the case. We're all individual people and we should all have individual beliefs. If that's the case, it's not coincidence. That's you getting put in prison by society. All of us just accept the beliefs around us. We accept everything that people tell us to be true, to be fact. But so few of us actually begin to question the beliefs that society places on us, let alone start to reject some of these principles. And I've been thinking a lot about this, how society can really damage your thinking. So in this video, I'm going to explain why we think and why we're influenced so much by society. And then 3 steps to overcoming the shackles, the intellectual shackles that society can place on you. To break free, to really start living the life you want to live, to be able to see the world how it actually is, instead of the delusions that so many people have. And to be able to make decisions for yourself and innovate and truly start reaching your potential. And in order to do that, we have to understand why we hold certain beliefs. And the answer to that is we hold beliefs because they are useful. We hold beliefs about where the best buffalo are at, where we can go hunting. We hold beliefs about where the best water supply is so that we can go and drink the water. And nowadays we hold beliefs about what the best political party is and how we should best conduct our life and use our time. It all comes down to what we think is useful. And the thing is, the brain cares more about what's useful for reproduction than what is true. Imagine you grew up in a tribe of people, and this whole tribe worshipped a sheep. They said this sheep was magical, it had superpowers, it could even read humans' mind. This sheep was incredible. If you go against the tribe and you say this sheep isn't magical, you're going to get shunned out of the group. People accept other people if they share common beliefs, and they get rid of other people that don't agree with their beliefs. And in that case, if you disagree with the tribe, it's not very useful for reproduction, you'll get kicked out, and you're definitely not going to be able to reproduce. So what the brain's going to do is it's going to convince you that that sheep is magical, even if you know it's not true, because that is what's useful for reproduction. That is what's going to allow you to get accepted into the tribe. And this means that our belief system is often created in a way that's going to allow us to have the most friends, to be accepted into the tribe, instead of looking for the truth. So we have real truths and we have social truths. And social truths aren't necessarily things that are true, it's simply things that bring us many more friends. But this can get incredibly dangerous because it's very difficult for the brain to distinguish between social truths and actual truths. It's almost impossible. And why is it so difficult to distinguish? Well, it may be because the brain deceives us in order to deceive others. You see, humans are pretty good lie detectors. We can naturally tell pretty well when somebody is lying towards us. So in order for us to get accepted into the tribe, the brain knows that it must not lie because other people will pick up on that. So the brain makes us believe things that it knows isn't true purely because it knows it's going to get us accepted by that. We've got an incredible knack for holding beliefs in our mind purely for getting accepted and believing in those beliefs so much that we don't even begin to question them, because we worry if we start to question these beliefs, we start to risk getting kicked out of the tribe or not being accepted so much by the people around us. So the brain can very easily convince you that the sheep does in fact have mind-reading powers when you know logically that that isn't the case. It's very easy to get deluded. The brain can even find logic to back up emotional decisions. It's why we have these growing groups of conspiracy theorists who let themselves believe in slightly crazy, slightly wacky things purely because they know that's going to allow them to get accepted into a group like they've never been before. So the brain can make emotional decisions and get emotional beliefs, and then what it does is it starts to create logic and focus on the logic to back up these emotional beliefs. And there was a fascinating study conducted by Sperry that supported this. It's called the split brain research. In the research, the corpus callosum of patients were cut, and this separates the 2 hemispheres of the brain from communicating with each other. It's the part of the brain that attaches the left side of the brain to the right side of the brain. And by cutting the communication between the 2 hemispheres of the brain, brain, they were able to only send information to one side of the brain instead of the other. The two sides couldn't communicate with each other. And as you know, the left side of the brain covers the right side of the body, and the right side of the brain covers the left side of the body. So what they did is they blocked off one of the ears and they put instructions into the right ear, which communicated with the left hemisphere of the brain. And in the instruction, they told them to get up and stand up and walk across the room. So the person got up and they stood up, the patient, and they walked across the room. And then they asked the other side of the brain, the part of the brain that didn't receive any communication, why did you just stand up? And the person replied, well, I wanted a Coke. So basically, what happened here was the person ended up doing something, and one part of the brain didn't understand why they ended up doing this thing, but he created a logical explanation as to why that was true, so that he didn't seem like he was crazy. And the brain is doing this all of the time. We're making emotional decisions and we're creating logic to back up the emotional decisions, to make us feel like we have logic and we have sound logic through and through, when in reality it all comes down to the emotional decisions that we make. And societies are built on consensus. We all do things that we all agree on. If everybody stopped believing that money was useful, or the government was useful, or even communication was useful, those things would cease to exist. They wouldn't be true. So society is built on the beliefs that many people share. But again, this can get incredibly dangerous as society starts to overreach and encroach on our personal beliefs. In its quest for consensus, society steps over the line and it starts planting beliefs in your mind that it deems is true but isn't actually true, nor is it useful for you in your practical day-to-day life. It may be useful for you to get social recognition to accept these beliefs, but it could be crippling you. These could be beliefs that are seriously tormenting you, that are limiting your potential, that are stopping you from seeing the world how it actually is, and stopping you from making decisions in your own best interest. And societies improve when the minority are able to step out and innovate and really challenge the status quo. Society is built upon consensus, but society thrives upon dissenters, people that disagree and people that truly question. In 1632, when Galileo came out and claimed that the Earth was revolving around the sun didn't revolve around us, he was shunned, he was put under house arrest for the rest of his life. He challenged the status quo and he got shut down by it. But look at where we are now. We are all in belief with his thoughts and we look up to him now. Chances are, right now, there's somebody who you have dislike towards who's gonna get looked back in the future as a hero. It's just the way the world works. Because by definition, innovation is doing things that other people don't yet agree with. It's stepping out, feeling confident, questioning everything, and truly moving the needle forwards. And if everybody is agreeing with you, if you have no beliefs that you would be afraid to step out and talk about in front of your peers, it probably shows you that you have a lot of societal beliefs and you're not questioning enough and you're not innovating enough. So how do we break free from the prison that society can put us under? How do we start to question whether the beliefs that we have are purely beliefs because we care about what other people think about us, or beliefs that genuinely are going to hold true? How do we do that? Well, there are 3 different steps. First of all, it's to become aware of your emotions. If somebody questions you, if somebody challenges you, if somebody starts to go into your beliefs and question why you have them, and you find yourself getting a visceral emotional response, chances are this is a societal belief. As we know, these beliefs are created around emotion and then justified with logic. So if somebody starts to weave the way through the logical barriers that we've created in our mind to really try and understand the beliefs, and instead of listening to them, we just get emotional, we shut off, we don't even want to hear them, then chances are that this is some kind of a societal belief. If we only cared about the accuracy of our beliefs and we really wanted to see the world how it actually is and see nature how it is, then we wouldn't care if somebody questioned them, and we wouldn't even care if we were wrong. We would just want to see the world for how it actually is. Second of all, we've got to start questioning the things that other people believe simply because that's just a given. How can you see the wave when you're the water? We've got to step out from the beliefs that society has, really start to identify and question things for ourselves, start to think for ourselves, and that's when we start to notice flaws in society's way of thinking. And third of all, we've got to start playing our part in shifting the way society thinks. Instead of always trying to be correct, focusing on the truth and trying to search for the truth. If we have freedom of speech, but people are unwilling to change their opinions, we simply have people shouting at each other. No progress whatsoever is made. On top of this, if we're afraid to question, if we're afraid to communicate, if we're afraid to even have conversations and go out into the unknown, this is another massive flaw in society. So we've got to start questioning, and we've got to start listening. We've got to start listening to all ideas, even ideas that challenge the status quo, especially ideas that challenge the status quo, because those are the ideas that could move us forwards. And if you follow these 3 steps, you'll be able to break free from society's prison. You'll be able to start thinking for yourself. You'll be so much more free. And if you want to see more videos that are going to help you along this journey, then subscribe down below, and the algorithm is going to show you more positive videos that can help you change your life. I'll see you in the next video. Answer this question honestly. How do you feel on a Monday morning? Do you throw off the covers, excited to face the day, passionate about the work that you're doing and thrilled to live another day? Or do you wake up to the screeching alarm clock? Do you smash snooze a couple times and then force yourself to get out of bed at the last minute to go to a job that you hate, a job that you're only working at because it pays the bills? If that second case sounds more like you than the first case, you're going to be interested in what the people of Okinawa have to say. Okinawa is a small island based off of the coast of Japan that has the highest percentage of people over 100 years old. The people there live for a very, very long time, and they believe that they have the equation that makes you excited to jump out of bed every single day. The equation that allows you to feel fulfilled and really like you're living a life of meaning. They believe that this kind of a life is completely possible if you follow the equation, and it all starts with a choice to pursue this feeling instead of pursuing other things that nowadays most of us pursue. It's going to be difficult, and they recognize that. It's going to be tough, but it's a choice that you can make. It is completely within your capability. So let's talk about this equation. There are 4 different elements to it, and when all 4 of these things overlap, you get Ikigai. And the first part of this life satisfaction equation comes down to doing what you love. If you want to feel satisfied, you have to spend the majority of your time doing things that satisfy you. It's fairly simple. And for the majority of us, that comes down to our work. That's the thing that fills the majority of our time. And the people of Okinawa believe that you shouldn't just work to live, you should live to work. And that important distinction allows us to get one step closer to that feeling of satisfaction. And in order to do this, by definition, we have to change the definition that we have of work. So many of us have negative connotations of work. It's something that we're forced to do. We have to work hard, we have to grind, we have to push ourselves to do things that we don't want to do. The very first step is to recognize that work doesn't always have to be like that. We can find work that brings us this kind of deep fulfillment. And a good metric in order to do this is how frequently you enter flow state. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, the author of Flow, actually figured out that the happiest people on this planet aren't the people that achieved the most and got the most success. They were very simply the people that found themselves in flow state the most frequently. They are the happiest people, getting into that state where you're fully immersed in whatever it is that you're doing, so much so that you forget everything else. You forget that time is passing and you're fully immersed in a singular piece of work that's pushing you slightly out of your comfort zone. But the people of Okinawa actually take this one step further. They pursue micro flow states multiple times throughout the day. Now, this is is very simply when you're doing day-to-day household chores, or in fact if you're doing anything, you're doing the shopping, you're doing the dishes, you're going on a walk, getting so fully immersed in that singular activity that you enter that flow state. They say that you don't just have to enter flow state in one specific field when you're deep at work writing something, like we normally picture flow state. They believe that you can enter that state of bliss and forget everything else by fully immersing yourself in your activities on a day-to-day basis. And by going by this definition of flow, we actually increase the frequency with which we can enter flow on a day-to-day basis. Hearing this reminds me of the quote that Marcus Aurelius would say: "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions." Instead of just going through life mindlessly, aimlessly, it's about being intentional with how you go about even the most basic things in life. And like I said, the more you enter flow state, the happier you'll be, the more likely you are to be able to jump out of bed excited to reach the day. But also, the more often you enter flow state, the better you'll get at the activities that you do on a day-to-day basis, which leads us on to the second part of Ikigai. The second part of this life satisfaction equation is to fill your time with things that you are good at. Now, when I first heard this, I thought they were talking about talent. I thought they were talking about pursuing things that you had a natural gift for, that you were naturally good at. But when I did some more reading into the topic, this wasn't actually true. They're talking about your propensity to be able to get better at that skill, not necessarily where you are in this current moment. They say it's more about trajectory and your passion to learn a skill than your inherent talent. And this is actually why I started this video by talking about what you love. If you really want to become great at a topic, if you want to become a master at something, I believe that it's impossible to do that without absolutely loving the skill that you're at. Because if you want to become incredible, the competition is so high that you're competing with other people who do like and enjoy that skill. And if you don't like it, you're not going to have enough willpower to truly master it. So start with what you love, and that's going to lead you towards something that you can become incredible at. Many athletes have said, if you want to get better at a sport, it all comes down to falling more in love with it, because then it's going to be easy to spend more time in it and easy to improve. And then once you've got this, once you've got something you love and something that you're good at, and we're going to talk more about how to find this later on in the video, you've got to find the overlap with that, with what the world needs. And that leads us on to the third part of Ikigai, the life satisfaction equation. You see, impact is inherently meaningful for us as human beings. We grew up in tribes, and in order for a tribe to succeed, everybody had to contribute. So evolution rewarded us with that by making us feel good when we did that. And that's carried over to modern life. You can't deny, helping somebody feels incredible. It's one of the main motivators for everything that I'm doing, and I think that it should be a core pillar value for everybody to implement. And the people of Okinawa take this to the extreme. So much so that they never retire. This is a really interesting point. Even the people over the age of 100 are still tending to their gardens. They keep vegetable gardens with mangoes and teas, and they're constantly doing that so they can feel like they're of value. They never stop. But then, kind of conversely, but you can marry the two ideas together, they marry this concept of never retiring with living a slow life. They truly believe that being in a hurry is completely the opposite of living a deep and satisfied life. There's a phrase that they pass around between each other that says, walk slowly and you'll go far. So they recommend that you always keep busy, but you should never be in a hurry. People have reported going to the island and you can walk around and you'll never see an old man sitting on a bench doing nothing. They'll always be busy, but they'll be doing it in the present moment, focused, kind of like that microflow that we talked about earlier, deeply in the present moment and just getting things done. But there's a reason that I included it third, and there's a quote that summarizes my reasoning. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Now, the fourth part of the equation is quite interesting, because if you go and you speak with the people of Okinawa, and you go and you research the concept of Ikigai, it's not often talked about. This was actually something that when this concept traveled over to the West, Westerners added in. And the fourth part of the equation is doing something which can earn you money. Now, again, this is interesting. The fact that they don't value this so much, but us as Westerners, we value this so much so that we added this into part of our equation is interesting. But I found that if you can do something that you love, and you do something that you're good at, and you do something that the world needs, often money is a byproduct of getting the other three things right. Whilst this is the fourth part of the equation, and money's definitely necessary, because money's not everything and money doesn't solve all of your problems, but it does solve all of your money problems. There's definitely a place for it in the equation, but it's just interesting the fact that this was added on by Westerners and not something that they actually talk about inherently. And when you manage to get all parts of these equations correct, you find the overlapping point between these 4 points. That's when you get Ikigai. That's when you get that deep life satisfaction, that feeling of meaning where you're excited to get out of the day. But how do we go about the process of actually finding that? In order to find this, I think that there's 3 steps that must be followed. The first one is making the choice. Making a choice to prioritize this feeling of life satisfaction over other things, over money and fame and job promotions and going to uni and get the normal route that most of us take. The second step, if you don't know what you love, you don't know what you're good at, you don't know what the world needs, and you don't know what you can get paid for, curiosity is pretty incredible. We can get to some pretty magical places by just doing the things that excite us, and the things that we're passionate about, the things that we have an interest in. Exploring them can open up new rabbit holes that we didn't even believe were possible with our worldview before. And then the third part of the process is to recognize that you're not going to be able to sit down now and create a plan. You've got to start taking action. And by taking action, by at least moving towards the direction of Ikigai, even if it's not a perfect plan, then you're going to be able to gather data and you're going to be able to better figure out the parts of this equation. And I truly believe that this is an equation that we should all be thinking about and we should all be trying to use as a guiding light towards living a deep, meaningful, satisfied life. If you've enjoyed this video and you want more concepts on this, click the like button, and what that's going to do is it's going to show more of these types of videos on your homepage, and subscribe as well. More of these positive videos will come up on your homepage. I appreciate you for sticking around till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.
I used to think beaches like this weren't real when I saw them in the UK and pictures and stuff. I thought they were just photoshopped. Oh my god. Appetizing is not a word I would use to describe this. That I was drunk or landed in. Kick the original brew. It's supposed to be quite good. It's the local beer. It tastes a lot like Asahi. Boring. Asahi one. Especially if you get off. I decided to ask.
Wet.
If you could describe this beach in one word, what would that word be?
Wet.
And you?
Hot.
Hot. God, such boring words.
No. Hot and wet beach. Hot and wet, yeah. Hot and
Disgusting. If you could rate this beach on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be?
Like 20?
It's off the charts. Oh my god. Why do you think Japanese women don't really wear bikinis much? There's like barely anyone on here.
They don't want to get tanned, and I think they're embarrassed about showing skin.
It's the kappa, ferryman, and donkey. And on the water like a pork. Nah. I don't normally like ice cream. Salt bars. I'm going to give it a shot. What do you recommend, Chris? Salted cookie. Salted cookie. Oh yeah, I like that. That's really good. It's really, really thick, and it seems to be like chewy. after World War II, it was really popular during rations.
I've been through dozens.
Through. Looking real good on that balcony.
Stop it, Chris. You're smothering me. And unbothered for 1 week. If I wanted to keep Ving.
Mike, what do you want to play?
Oh,
it's split, dude.
Damn, crazy.
Let's go B. Yeah?
What? Why B?
Because it'll be easy.
Thank you. Evan?
Oh, fucking later. Holy shit. You go AFK now, we'll win this. Go AFK now, go AFK now, right now. I'll win this. If I don't win this, I'll literally get 50 subs.
Oh, that's not Loco.
Dude, what a name. Two on site.
TP cross.
Oh, he's TP again. Kill his orb.
Oh.
You almost pulled your
He was
pants down,
heaven.
Mike.
Holy shit.
That man almost pulled Mike's pants down, took his shirt over his head.
Oh, fucking
I'm literally getting bombs, so that's cool.
Last player
No,
standing.
fuck.
I had to run all the way back to get the bomb, dude. Ain't that some shit? The fuck?
30 seconds left. Enemy remaining.
Where's that turret? Ooh, impressive. Out, pillar, out, pillar, out, pillar.
Come on! Fuck! All the other fucking shots are bending for me, but not that one. Come on, bend.
Your teammate
Hold on, I'm smoking ramp, smoking ramp.
2 heaven and 2 on your left, Strap.
Last player standing.
They're 128.
Oh, man.
What? Oh, we got that hit. Let's go. Okay, okay.
Yo, what a round stage.
You're really relying on me here.
I am.
It's only you, bro.
Your Sage is on the big fucking run around. He's going mid right now. Sage is gonna end up
Dead.
ramp.
Enemy remaining.
Bomb.
Player standing.
He went to check the portal. He went to check it.
Double thought, dude.
I think he got confused when he looked at me, and you know how you like see the TP? I think he didn't know like if he could shoot me, because I've done that before where you see an Omen TPing and it like trips you out for a sec. It just sucks that he had an op, because if he had a rifle he would have shot me, but he needed to hit that.
Flashing, flashing.
Flashing this next corner.
Yep.
Okay, that sucks.
Going with it. Going with it. Fuck it. No, bitch. Oh, they're.
Holy shit.
Fuck it, bro. Flash my ass. I don't give a
Dude,
fuck.
I hate how big it is, man.
I'm with you. We can take.
I'm flashing this shit.
Oh, you might.
On ramp.
Oh no.
I don't want to talk about it, bro.
Two ramp. Last two.
Enemy remaining.
You got bomb over there, Mike?
I don't know.
He's just walking it. He's really low. Yep.
Over there.
Spike. Flashing.
I'm blind. Over there. Close left. Oh!
Heyo!
Fucking how?
Still a mid.
B as well.
Dead. Flashing mid. Oh!
The main one.
Oh. Op in
Remaining.
ropes.
Got me safe?
Ropes. Yeah.
I used it.
I almost called it post office, dude. Alright, let's fucking own these guys! I smoked past this.
You crossed.
Under. Yeah. Oh, 2 more. I'm flashing it.
You will not kill my ally.
We flashing? Never mind.
Fuck! I shouldn't have done that. Fuck.
Yeah.
What? What?
Defenders win.
Like $1,000 or whatever. $2,000. I don't give a fuck.
He's low on side.
Point gate.
I'm flashing it, push it.
Inside already, inside ramp.
Alright, well, that sucks.
Yes, Mike, that was sick. That was so perfect. Dude was like, fuck it, I'm out of here. I don't want to get jump toxic. And then it just turned out, bro.
Dude, that worked out so well.
Can't wait to see that in my recommended Shroud's greatest TP plays or whatever.
Crazy.
You know it's coming.
You watch me on YouTube?
Oh yeah, dude. What are you talking about? I watch
Aww.
I'm a fan, man. Come on.
That's awesome.
A fan.
Fan,
I'm a
dude.
fan too. Clear that up. Oh.
Panther. Oh my god. I'm gonna flash that in a second, okay? I'm gonna flash spawn right now. They're not coming in. Smoking garage again.
One round CT.
I can't believe he cleared me still. And alright.
Just go. I'm gonna ult heaven. Literally, you guys gotta do this. You guys gotta commit. You guys gotta commit. I'm in A.
A-Link. Gone.
Left side, left side.
Oh, still A-Link.
Ah. He's smarter than that.
Nobody see.
Might push garage.
I have A.
Oh, one's long shot.
I don't have A. I don't have A. Fuck! There was two. Don't have A. I have. I have A.
Oh, one's long shot.
I don't have A. I don't have A. Fuck! There was two.
Making a play after this fades.
I can flash it.
No, no, no.
Flashed.
Close to
They
name
gave
man.
it up.
Close. Name man dead. One front. In.
That's so lame. This guy fucking accidentally dinks me, bro. Pizza Man 69. Killed one A. And the other one got me. Dude, how is this guy always where I am? Pizza Man!
Yeah, pizza man, bro.
Fuck this. Sorry.
Out amongst men.
They rotated A. It sounds like. I'm walking back.
Yeah,
CT
he just
right.
killed one on it.
Aren't you?
No way.
Official main trailer. What is margarine?
Back. Yes, we're so glad of
Monday
night
live.
Yes, we're so glad you could join us. Even if you're on the replay, we still are so glad you could. The age-old argument. Which one is better for you, butter or margarine? We're going to tear that apart in this video, and I'm going to give you incontrovertible proof that one is much, much better than the other. Not only is one better than the other, one is much less dangerous than the other. What you're about to hear may go directly against the advice you've gotten from your doctor or your nutritionist or dietitian, but I promise you these are black and white facts that you can look up and verify. And what they told you was an outdated opinion that needs to die. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical experience. And let's compare the facts about butter versus margarine. First of all, butter is a completely natural substance that human beings have been eating for at least 5,000 years. Margarine is literally made in a chemical factory and human beings have been tricked into eating it for about the last 90 or 100 years. Butter is full of hundreds of different kinds of healthy fatty acids. All the fatty acids in margarine are chemically expressed from vegetable seeds. It's a very unnatural process. Butter has 24 milligrams of calcium in each 100-gram serving. Margarine has none. Butter actually has 2.5 milligrams of vitamin C. Yeah, vitamin C per serving. Margarine has none. Butter has over 3,500 international units of real vitamin A in every 100-gram serving. Margarine has none. Butter has essentially 0 trans fats, and up until a few years ago, margarine was full of trans fats until the federal government stepped in and forced the manufacturers to remove the unhealthy trans fats from margarine. There's still traces of trans fats in most margarines, especially stick margarine. Also, if you cook with margarine, anytime you heat it up, you greatly increase the number of trans fats in the margarine. Butter also has vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K2, vitamin B12, butyrate, look it up, it's very healthy, conjugated linoleic acid, and omega-3 fatty acids. Margarine has none of these. This is not even close. Butter wins by a complete knockout. The only reason margarine was ever touted to be healthy in the first place was because of millions of dollars in advertising that the margarine company spent to trick you and to trick doctors and nutritionists into thinking that margarine was healthy. The people that did believe it in their heart of hearts were tricked, and the healthcare providers that recommended margarine to you just did not know what they were talking about. If you're surprised by what I just said in this video, you might consider subscribing to this channel because all of my videos are often interesting and surprising. I'd sure love it if you join me on your favorite social media. I'm on all of them, so in the show notes down below, I've got links to all my social media. Join me there and let's journey together. Let's fight this fight together. This is Dr. Berry. I'll see you next time.
Why don't we just do like a test question? What'd you have for breakfast?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.